guys, welcome back to the Buzz with KDB. This is Kyler taking over the Buzz. I know this is usually not what we do, but Katie gave me full reins for this podcast, and so I invited one of my good friends, special guest, Mr. Eli Jordan. We're going to sit here and talk about our boys from Oklahoma experience, our ragweed, red dirt, um, coming of where we found everybody, and just talk about the show and how we did. I'm joined by Eli today. Eli's a big red dirt fan out in Oklahoma, Vertigus, right?
Yep.
Yep. So he's based out in Vertigus, which is a lot easier of a drive than where we came from down in Houston. But Eli's been in the red dirt scene here on Twitter and Instagram, playing his own music, playing shows. Good dude in this scene, and happy to have him on.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Awesome. Just to kick everything off, I'm curious of Ragweed was before you and I were born. They were made
Yeah.
30 years ago. I'm just curious to see when you started listening to Ragweed and what really got you into that genre. And even outside of Ragweed, your Stony LaRue's, everybody that played there, when did you finally get into those guys?
Man, it would have been 2019 or 2020. I was living outside of Oklahoma for the first time, and I was just looked up songs about Oklahoma, and Oklahoma Stars by the Turnpike Troubadours came up. And really, it just all started with that one song, and now, shoot, I've been to over 100 different shows in the last couple of years since then, and stuff like that. Started with Turnpike, and then just slowly bled out.
So Red Dirt Turnpike specifically was like your one that got you into music heavy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, especially being from Oklahoma and such a niche Oklahoma band that was, and now is obviously grown since they came back together. You found them during their hiatus, so it's probably
Hmm.
a good treat to go through and be able to see their whole discography without having to wait for new music while they were on their hiatus. So that's pretty cool to be a witness of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was very young. I remember it was on my mom's Pandora app back in like '06, '07. And Ragweed was playing then. They were still Ragweed then, and I remember listening to those songs and never knowing what those words meant to anybody. But definitely just sang along. It was obviously always on the in the car, and and then you grow up, you really fall into different music when you're growing up, what everybody's listening to at school and everything like that. And so once I finally got out of high school, I really did a deep dive on everything back that I listened to back in the day, and that's post. Well, I didn't see Turnpike. I mean, I did see Turnpike prior to their hiatus. I mean, like county fairs and stuff like that when they were small. But I really went and saw Stony and Jason and Cody all independently on when they were on their own stuff within the last
Hmm.
3 or 4 years, and that's when I really fell in love with catching shows. And it's crazy to see everybody that was prior ragweed breakup that was there this weekend. There was a lot of people that were prior and couldn't hang with the young crowd like they used to. And I saw some people getting outraged that people are leaving in their set, but it is.
Yeah, I remember seeing online all of them were talking like, you guys don't know how we partied back when we were young. I'm like, that's great. You guys can't party like that now. You
Yeah,
guys were all
come on.
ducking out.
Yeah, so they were getting. I remember when they were announcing tickets, all the old heads were pretty pissed that some kids got tickets, and they were like,
Hmm.
"Hey, this is our reunion, not y'all's." And we're like, "We have just as much dog in this fight as y'all do. We might outlast you, but we still got a dog in the fight." And so that was really one thing that was like, people are really upset and adamant about this. And that was when
Hmm.
they still had just one night announced. So I understand
Yeah.
the rush on 50,000 tickets for such a large scene in a 15-year hiatus. But I'm happy they expanded that out to 4 nights and really let everybody indulge on it. And what a better set like scene for that to be held in. Like explain to you like
I
that haven't been to Stillwater how important that was to be in Stillwater.
so I like I said, I didn't, I didn't grow up around the Red Dirt scene. I really didn't know, like I knew it was from Stillwater, but I didn't understand the importance of it till really reading a book by Josh Crutchmer.
Yeah.
I've plugged this several times because I just loved it. His first Red Dirt book talks about the beginnings of it with Bob Childers, Tom Skinner, and the Red Dirt Rangers being there in the late 70s, early 80s, and the Great Divide, and Ragweed, Bowling, Turnpike, etc. But Stillwater to me was always Oklahoma State. I'd say one of my earliest memories is being in Boone Pickens at a football game. Well, at that time it would have been Lewis Field at a football game, and then my dad worked there whenever they renovated it. Like I don't have any in here, but we have pieces of the locker room and different things like that. So it was really cool to be there where the two bands that meant the most to me from being home, playing in the place where some of my earliest memories stem from in a town that I love.
Yeah, it was really cool. I
There's,
remember hearing that it was back in Stillwater through, I'm not going to say who, but some good sources. And my first thought was like, there's no venue in Stillwater that could hold people. Like, I didn't think football stadium at all. I was thinking like a something the size of Billy Bob's or something like a dance hall. And
yeah, you might have given me a little bit of information beforehand.
yeah, yeah,
And I remember thinking the same things like, man, they used to use Gallagher Iba for concerts, and maybe they do that. I never pictured it'd be out there on the football field.
yeah. I was thinking they were going to open a bigger tumbleweed and call it the Wormy Dog. I thought was like, this is a
Or
ground.
like do it at the calf fry grounds.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. But it was a true shock to see it be at Boone Pickens and a pleasure to be there. I've never been to Boone Pickens Stadium or Norman and any of stadiums outside of Texas.
You don't need to go there. You'd be all right.
No, I know, I know, I know. But uh, I've been to some cool shows. I mean, there's been some cool shows at Kyle Field. George just did his with Parker McCullum and Katie Offerman last year. My parents went to that. That was only one night though. There was
Mm-hmm.
111,000 people in one night. I was like, that's cool and all, but I mean, the experience I had at Boone Pickens was unmatched with anything I've ever seen. So it was really cool to experience that and see everybody that was so community driven. I don't know what it was, but everybody was helping everybody out the whole entire event. So um, talk a little bit about that. The whole entire midway stage, your camp out before the first day and stuff like that. How'd you do that?
Yeah, man. I saw that they were announcing all that other stuff, and it just doesn't surprise me because like
Yeah,
it's one thing I've learned from being here is that you're gonna help your fellow man out however you can. And it's like with everything, even in like the small bits of music that I've done. Casey West is an artist who's helped me tremendously that I met through Copan and then later at open mics in Ulaga. And Connor Wilson's another one, and they've helped me grow, and I kind of see that stemming from how it all started back in Stillwater. Whenever people were inviting them out to the farm, which is now a Gypsy Cafe, and just artists living together and helping each other out and helping push each other's music out as opposed to trying to do their own thing.
yeah. It's a very community driven music scene, which I don't think Texas has much of, besides outside of New Braunfels and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the music capital of Texas.
And do you know what you have in New Braunfels? Who's leading all that? Cody Canada. It's
Yeah,
Oklahoma,
exactly.
man.
It's actually exactly. What's crazy is everybody says Cody Canada's from Oklahoma. He's actually from Texas. You know that?
I did.
Yeah.
San Antonio, right?
Tampa, so it's up near Amarillo.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's not far from Oklahoma, but
And they
yeah,
moved to Yukon whenever he was young.
yes, yes, he did. But it's just crazy to see the scenes that have branched out of Oklahoma specifically because Red Dirt is nothing without Oklahoma, and Red Dirt
Mm-hmm.
is nothing without Texas. I must say, there's some killer
You'd be
people.
right, yeah.
It's a two-part system, and people try to claim each side, and I see both arguments, but it's truly a family between the Red River that meshes the two that makes everything work. I don't think without one it could have been that.
I wouldn't say they're brothers, but they're definitely cousins.
Yes, yes. I mean, they've got some rivalries in there.
Mm,
So yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I think there always will be just because of the history of the two states and things like that. Like it'll
yeah,
never not be there, but we all know we're all here for the same reason.
absolutely. And then it was good to see. I saw people all the way travel from Saskatchewan, Canada, um,
Hmm.
out of country even that were here in Oklahoma and flew back for this show. It was a pretty monumental thing to go on, and I mean, even the midway stage they had outside with a second stage they had out there. They had three stages, four.
Uh, there was one stage outside the stadium. All the bars in town were doing something or other, but the ones they advertised was the midway stage, the stage at Eskimo Joe's, which I did not get to make it to, and then they had people playing at the Tumbleweed all weekend on the three stages they have there.
So it was a music filled weekend. We made it to
Yeah.
Eskimos to go see Emily play out there. Um, and we were only in town for one night in Stillwater, so we
Hmm.
really didn't get to stop by the Tumbleweed because we were driving back to north of Tulsa. So, but how was the Tumbleweed experience? I saw you there ranting and raving about it. How was that for you?
Man, it was great. I want to give American Slang their flowers. I met their drummer playing at a bar in Stillwater called Great White Buffalo, and I had seen him on Thursday while I was sitting outside, and he's like, "Man, what are you doing tomorrow?" I was like, "Man, I was thinking about coming to y'all's show, but I'm not sure yet." He's like, "Here, man, let me get you on the guest list for it, and he got me in there for that one without having to spend a dime.
Yeah,
And I was able to see there. I saw Smoking Oaks, American Slang, and Waves in April. Where I actually met Cody Canada for about 5 seconds.
that's cool.
Yeah, which Waves being his kids band. And then that night, No Justice played with Johnny Cooper and Avery Cooper. Was hanging out with some friends. Didn't need to catch much of that one, but No Justice is also like they were friends with Ragweed and them back in the day, and they really don't get as much hype around them because not as many people know about them.
Yeah,
To be fair, I didn't until last Calf Right Christmas where they were headlining, and I'm like, who the hell is this No Justice band? And yeah, saw them there, and
yeah,
been following them since.
yeah. And so, have you ever seen Cody with his kids opening ever in show?
Yeah, I saw them in Tulsa whenever they actually came out and played 4 songs as Ragweed as the encore.
Oh, cool.
They're a little metalcore band, and it's not. I didn't think it'd be my cup of tea, but it's really fun to watch live.
Yeah, yeah. They he had his daughter out when I don't think she came out when your show, but she came out in ours and absolutely killed it. I can't remember what she covered.
So not to be a correcting person, but that's L came from the School of Rock. His
Okay,
2 kids are in the band, and then I believe it is one of the other School of Rock kids, or that's
gotcha,
one of their friends
gotcha,
that plays
gotcha,
bass.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So Dirks and Willie and
Yes.
School of Rock, School of Rock.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I did not know that. But I can't remember what she sang on stage, but I know Katie was down out of she's been in there since 11 o'clock that morning and was
Hmm.
there in the seat and she wasn't staring at the stage and I was like, yo, look at this. Like you probably won't see this at any other country show. And
Yeah.
makeup and everything, it was pretty cool to see. And she absolutely killed it. I can't remember exactly what she was
They
singing.
did play Carney Man. Well,
Yeah,
it's one of the songs that they cover.
yeah. So she didn't sing Carney Man. She sang a rock cover of some sort, but
Are you talking about with Ragweed or on the Midway stage?
Ragweed on
I,
stage.
was it Stranglehold? Because that's what we got on
Yes,
Sunday.
yes. But that was really cool to see.
Yeah, it was.
Also, fucking the guests that came out on your first night, some a scat
Shoot, dude. Who do we have? We had Dirk Bentley.
Wade
We
Bow.
had Wade Bowen. Of course, they brought out, Bolin, Stoney, and Mike at different points. Red Dirt Rangers were there all weekend. I thought Gene Collier was pretty cool
Yeah,
because he actually wrote Boys from Oklahoma before Ragweed blew it up all out of proportion.
yeah. I'm really happy that they cut Rag or Boys from Oklahoma as around this event. Like it wasn't
Hmm.
some something that's already been recorded. It was something new. I really enjoyed that when Gene Collier up there just doing his thing, making up lines is cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, we didn't have many people. We had Tanner Usry, Wyatt Flores came out on Friday night, Parker McCullum. We had Gracie York as well.
Hmm.
They had a
Yeah,
stacked list of people.
Gracie came out for. There were so many of them, dude. I forget half of them.
Yeah, and everybody that was there was just there to show their respect, which was amazing to give up their time to do that.
Yeah. Cody actually said before Dirks came out that whenever they announced that they were doing this, he was like, "Man, how can be a part of this?" He's like, "Man, I don't know if we can like provide you anything." He's like, "Don't worry about that. Just I'll fly my plane into Stillwater and get me a rental car, and I'll be there. Leave the back door open." I think is what he said.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
It's just people showing like people have inspiration from these guys. Like they hadn't been in this like they've been in the scene. I'm not gonna say they hadn't been in the scene, but they hadn't been under that title in 15 years. And so anybody that wanted to pay respects, I think they got their due diligence in and was able to do that, which was amazing to see.
Hmm.
They did so much for these two areas or greater areas, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was really cool to see. How was your camp out? You said you started up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So I actually thought that I was going to be late. My original plan was to go there the night before in one of those like lean back lawn chairs and sleep out there. But I went and watched the Red Dirt Rangers with Scott Evans
Sorry.
at the Tumbleweed Wednesday night, and we ended up hanging out with our buddies that we have. And it was like 2 a.m. at that point. I was like, man, I'm just gonna go sleep. This will probably be the last time I get to sleep before then. So I wake up at like 7, like, oh shit, I'm running late.
Yeah.
Shower and everything. Finally get up there at 9, and there was nobody out there, which just kind of blew my mind a little bit
Yeah.
because the Turnpike reunion that happened a few years before, Matt Westerman, I think, was the one that was the first one there, and he got there at like 3 a.m. or something like that, driving down from wherever he's from. So I wasn't complaining, but I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
But I brought my cooler with me, loaded that thing up beforehand, and just started drinking, passing time. And might have gotten access to the Turnpike album a little early, so threw that on a speaker and was listening to that as people slowly started coming, gathering in line.
Can I ask
It was
how?
just like a somebody sent it to me that I know on Twitter through
Gotcha.
OSU Twitter, actually, nothing music related.
That's awesome. I uh,
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a way to look up albums previous, and I could not find it. I was driving up Thursday while you were sitting outside, and typically around 11 a.m. CST where we are,
Mm-hmm.
you can get albums through VPNs, and Turnpike's album was not on there, and so I was very shocked, and so I was like, well, we'll just wait till midnight tonight. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Turnpike album, another thing that popped off that weekend. I'd like to know that you sat on it for a couple of days, probably had a couple listens through. What's
I
your
haven't, man. I've been.
oh,
It's just been so busy.
uh,
We had that one listen through on the day that it came out, and from that one experience, the big standout to me that just kind of was like, this is different, but in like a good way, was Be Here with that kind of like, I'm pretty sure it's just RC and Kyle Nix, but that kind of like choir sound in the background that they have on that. I
yeah,
was like, that's some cool shit, man.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. They and this is not typical fashion of Turnpike to announce a surprise album like this. Typically it's full production, all steam ahead, and so it was a really good treat on top of the biggest Red Dirt weekend of all of music. So I really think that, and they didn't try to take the spotlight, which was really
No,
beautiful.
yeah, they put their poster up, let people, or their billboard up, which you got a cute picture next to, and just let people freak out about it. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool.
All the leaks on, not really leaks, they were intentional on touch tunes.
TikTok and different things. Yeah, yeah.
Was really cool. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
they'd go about that route because I heard they had somebody leak an album through there before. I'm not going to say names or anything. I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but yeah, I've heard they've had some struggles with that before, and I was really surprised that's the route they went through for that. But I heard that was real good and got me really hyped for the album, and the album's delivered. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has. Like the issue is I'll want to, okay, I'm gonna listen to this whole thing, and I just get hung up on like the first couple songs,
yeah,
just really trying to take them in, and then I realize I got to get back to whatever I'm doing, and then
and
we do the same thing over and over again.
yeah, and that's what I don't understand about people that I don't know if you're the same way, but I have to wait a good 3 months, let the hype die down before I can listen to a music with unfazed memory, unfazed
Yeah.
mind. And so I haven't really. I've listened to it one time through. I liked what I heard. It'll probably be 4 more weeks before I listen to it again and really dive deep into
Mm-hmm.
the lyrics. But yeah, it was a good listen. I'm excited to listen to it again. Got to order the vinyl. That'll be pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm the same way. Not necessarily waiting for the hype and things to die down, but the first couple listens through, I'm listening to like how they make me feel as opposed to like what the songs mean, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Because in secondary listen throughs, I'll sit there and read the lyrics the whole time and just kind of try to understand what it's about instead of how it just feels about, if that makes sense.
I've really never been listen to or look through lyrics. I've always been the one that will listen to and be like, "Damn, they really said some real shit," and then I'll listen to it again
Mm-hmm.
if I hear anything else, and then I'll go back around. But yeah, Turnpike they co-wrote a whole album with Lance Rourke was
Mm-hmm.
on there. Who else was on there? Do you know?
Oh shoot, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I know Lance Work was one I was going to say. John Fulbright's on there.
Yeah,
There's one other guy I think that I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
it was like the Avengers this last weekend, in person. Like we got to see them come in on the ship at Boom
Mm-hmm.
Stadium and after Masterpiece walked off. And even Jason Boland getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, that was cool. Even you were in the Jason Boland promo video for the day.
Yeah,
Cool. Uh,
yeah. Wait, one little thing before we move on. While waiting in line, I actually was interviewed by Josh Crutchman for his book about this whole ragweed thing, and I just thought that was really cool. And I
yeah,
was sitting there thinking about it, like no one else in the world will be able to say that they were the first person in line for ragweed being back.
yeah. concert of our lifetimes, I would say. Um, and so that's going to be really cool. Something you could tell your kids one day is be like, hey, yo, read about your dad
Mhm.
back when I was in my 20s.
Something like that, man. Yeah. But yeah, it really was.
What did y'all talk about if you don't mind me asking?
He just asked me, like, it was all of maybe 5 minutes. It was like, what does this reunion mean to you? Why do you think now is the time? And like what it means to be in the front of the line or something like that. I was pretty tore up, so I'm sure it won't be the best interview, but I'm looking forward to see what he takes out of it.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna get Josh on to the podcast again, probably after this book drops from him. And but he came out every night, I think, and talked to the crowd.
Yeah.
Uh, they sang "On a Cloud," which is really cool to see. Did a little tribute. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool, man. But it's what you were saying before I interrupted you, the Avengers thing. Like, from what I've been told and the stories that I've read, if you were in Stillwater in the 90s and into the 2000s, the show that we saw was about what you could see at least once a month at any given time.
Yeah,
And as we were talking earlier on the old people, they're like, we get to see this again, like relive their teen and into adulthood or childhood, depending on who they are. But for us, it's a little different
yeah,
because, Great Divide only got back together, well, together to record an album, in 2021. I think they got back together in like 2010 or 11 or something like that to play. Boland's always been around, Stoney's always been around, and Cody's been the departed for as long as I've cared about Red Dirt.
yeah,
So like, man, I remember standing there right whenever, the orange Ragweed logo comes across the screen, they bring out the Carney man, and I just had like I was choking up in my throat.
yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like I haven't had that feeling since I saw Turnpike play.
Yeah, and which was
And
crazy is like Katie isn't from here at all, like 1,200 miles away, and having to explain to her on the drive up of the significance of this show, and like her big one show that she went to, and I went with her last year was Taylor, or year before was Taylor Swift. Like we went and saw Taylor
mm,
Swift, and I was like, babe, like this is my Taylor Swift, but I'm seeing like three of them at the same time. Like
yeah.
it, it's something very special for somebody that's from this area that truly gets it and truly remembers these songs as a kid, or even
Mm,
at your age. They mean so much to you now because you've how much your home state is embodied in this music. And so she had no real correlation to it prior to moving. And so I made her a playlist of just red dirt music. And I was like, hey, this is the vibe down here. Like either get with or get on. Like, and
mm,
like I like it. But I'm like, I can't take you to a cross Canadian ragweed show. I can take you to a Turnpike show. It's not going to be what they were prior to their breakup. This is like right after, and so there was like all
mm,
the hype around them. Um, I can take you to a Stony and a Jason Boland show. They're not 20 years old anymore, so it's not really the same as when they recorded any of this music. But I
yeah.
felt that in Boone Pickens Stadium, it was like they were kids again.
Yeah. That like so one of the things that's real nice about being front and center is you really get to see the emotion on all their faces.
Yeah,
And like especially whenever Dirks would come out, and I think he played One Rock and Roll with him every night. And just seeing him stand behind him, smile, watching his kids do what he was doing when he was his age, but instead of it to being 12 people on a Wednesday night,
yeah,
it's 50,000 people. Like just seeing the emotion that they all have for it was it's really fun to see, and why I will often try to get as close as I can as opposed to just buying a ticket to be in the room.
yeah. Because breathing the same air as in breathing the venue air is completely different.
Yeah, breathing that venue air was a great time.
Yeah, yeah, but breathing their air was probably even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So,
was really cool to see even Ragsdale on the drums. Like he hadn't been in there for behind the drums for years probably. I know he didn't
they
hit
they
Rags
did release Grady Cross and
Cross Young.
Ragsdale Cross Young or Cross Rags and Young or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was back in 2019, I believe.
Yeah, so it'd been a little bit for him to be playing Ragweed songs behind the
Yeah.
and his emotion in playing was he was a lot on the screen, a lot,
Hmm.
and it was really cool to see him smile and be happy to be back there. I mean, he just retired from the oil field. He posted on Instagram. I think his second to last post. And so I'm not saying I don't. This is just me throwing it out into the ether, but I think next year this is a trial run for something potentially bigger.
I remember whenever they first announced it, Cody said they're still doing The Departed, so I don't think it's gonna be like we're doing 200 shows a year, 100
Yeah,
shows a year. I do think it'll be like, it wouldn't surprise me to see them at Cat Fryer Born and Raised within a year or two.
I would love to see him do a residency at the Sphere. Imagine Red
Hmm.
Dirt on the Sphere. It'd be fucking crazy.
Shoot, man, that wouldn't be crazy. But another one they talk about is Larry Joe Taylor Festival, which not one I've never made it to yet, but it wouldn't be surprised to see them there. But
The weird
God, the
thing is
Sphere
I've
would be
never been to
crazy.
a festival in all of my music journey. I've never been to a festival. I don't like festivals honestly because you're missing out on a shorter set and you might be having two of your favorite bands on different stages and have to pick.
See, and that's a bone I have to pick. I've been to four festivals now: Calf Fry, Born and Raised, Two Step In, and Peacemaker Festival. Two Step In was like that. There's five stages, music going on at all times. I remember not this last year, but the year before last. J.R. Carroll finished at 4 o'clock, and Wyatt went on at 4:05. Luckily, my brother he went and waited by the stage that Wyatt was playing on, so we had a spot up there. But I had to fight through probably 5,000 people to get up there to him.
Yeah.
And the reason I like some of the festivals, the smaller ones like Born and Raised, there is going to be music going on at all times, but a person's going to play on this stage for an hour. And then there's a 10-minute break, and then they play on this stage for an hour or however long. So there's not overlap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can catch everything if you really wanted to.
I mean, I think like this whole week, that whole weekend felt very festival-esque.
Oh, yeah.
There was so many stages going on, and my friends playing it at this stage, and then I have to make it all the way around the stadium to go catch Gracie York 10 minutes after, and that was
Mm-hmm.
really cool for me, but I could not do it for a whole weekend. I don't understand how people do it.
Man, you need to get up for Born and Raised. I think you'll like that one.
Yeah,
But,
I
I mean,
they've even tried to pull me onto that one. So as soon as they announce a good, I mean, I won free tickets last year,
mm-hmm.
but I gave them to Ron. So, yeah,
Man, I don't even need a good lineup. I love that place, which it's only 30 minutes from my house. So it's not like I'm really worrying about travel and things like that, like other people are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about a little bit of the show that we liked, anything that we missed out on a set that we wished was there. It'll break down a little bit of the set that we were at. Anything that you really stood out and that you wanted to see that you got that you were surprised they played.
No, man, they played everything that I wanted to hear.
Awesome.
Like, one of the ones I wasn't expecting was like some of the special guests. Like, so the Thursday show, it's a little rough, a lot of technical difficulties. It ran about an hour longer than it was supposed to. So they finally got to Boys from Oklahoma, and then they kept asking, "Do we have time for another song?" Then they played one more, and then they played one more, and then they finally finished on Crazy Eddie's Last Hurrah with Reckless Kelly. And like that's it's off of their live album and Billy Bob's. It might be my favorite song off of that record itself. So it was cool to hear that one, along with the opening song for the weekend was Anywhere But Here, which they also closed with on Sunday.
They did that as well on Friday
Hmm.
so for their encore, but yeah, another great one.
And man, I had been feeling the weight of the day by that point, but they came out, like I said, they set the Connie Man down, and then they started playing the little opening to it. And right as Cody came out and yelled, the countdown, it was like every ounce of energy I had left in me was now exuded for the next 2 hours.
Yeah,
And I spent every last bit of it just, dancing, headbanging along to everything.
that's awesome. Did he ever acknowledge you in the crowd as like, yo, this dude's fucking lit or
No, and I don't ever look for that
yeah,
because I'm not trying to make anything about myself. It's just what I like to do.
yeah.
Like that's why I grew up listening to like metal and rock music, and that's just how I was growing up. So and then I found country music. I'm like, man, I can still bob my head along to the beat. then my hair kept growing, and here we are.
Hell yeah. So some songs that we got in ours that I really like was looking forward to is Bang My Head. I really wanted that one. I didn't know if they were gonna make the cut.
That is my favorite Ragweed song.
That is like it's just fuck it, it's really
Hmm.
just something that Carney Man was another great one that I was really one. I wanted Hey Hey, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, they
Uh,
didn't play a lot of the really early stuff,
they didn't
with
they
the
were
exception of like Carney Man, and like they played their hits, which I don't blame them for
yeah,
doing.
but they always said like online that watch out for the deep cuts, and I'm sitting there like fucking bring it, like let's go. But which I'm hoping they do more shows or more from in the Texas shows. But
Hmm.
they had some damn good songs that they played. Dimebag, I think his son came out and played Dimebag with him, which was sick as hell. Um,
Yeah,
that was
Dimebag didn't make it into the first night. And
no,
of the Cody Canada shows I've seen, he's like, man, this is always one that I've always played. Like even
yeah,
when we broke up, this was the one Ragweed song that never quit.
I'm
So I was
surprised.
really surprised to not hear that one.
And what's crazy is he made these like before the shows were announced, or like I mean after of course they had to have make four of them because they sold out. But he
Hmm.
had these locked away for months, and everybody was asking him what's on him, and he wasn't budging. So from my sources, nothing was budging. So we really went in there pretty blind, and I can't say that I was ecstatic to what they played. So it was a really good time.
Yeah, and I'm glad they played the covers that they did. Like if you
Yeah,
listen to their Live and Loud at Canes, Late Last Night is the song that opens it up, and that's one of my. I think it's a
Todd
Tom
Snyder.
Skinner, Todd Snyder. That's right. Too many people with similar names, but they played that one, and I'm sitting there yelling. He says try to keep it down. You yell it right back at him, and like no one around me's doing that. I'm
Yeah,
like, what the hell?
yeah. They
Like,
also
let's lock in.
Our night they did Lighthouse Keeper by Scott Copeland,
Hmm.
and then they did Wanna Rock and Roll by Ray Wiley Hubbard, and then they of
We
course
got that one as well.
they also played Crazy Eddie Black Rock, which would be cool. Have you seen Reckless Kelly outside of
I have not.
dude?
I've not. I've been meaning to. I just haven't had a chance to.
So I went to a Pecos concert last year, and I literally just talked to the merch guy the whole entire time. And he used to be their either tour manager or merch guy, I can't remember. And he's like, "Hey, yo, this is like Reckless Kelly like last year. Like they're stopping booking after 2025. You should really go check them out if you haven't already." And so I booked one for New Year's and went and saw them. And man, those guys still keeping it alive. And I don't know how they've done it without taking a damn break. Like those guys are killer.
Well, hopefully, they still do a couple because I
Yeah.
really haven't had a chance to. I haven't really gotten into their music since again reading Crutchmer's books, and he talks about him.
Dude,
Like,
there. I remember. What was that one song? Seven Nights in Erie. They had was
yeah,
good. And then the
one of my favorites by them is American Blood.
Wicked Twisted. I mean, I'm just saying the big ones, but Wicked Twisted
Hmm.
Road was just like, dude, like it paints such a beautiful, like not a beautiful story, but a story that you see so vividly, and it was really a good one to see. But live.
Hmm.
But yeah, keeping Red Dirt alive. These guys really did prove it. They had a hell of a show. 180,000 people turned out.
Yeah, I
Um,
know we're running out of time here, but I don't know if you had this experience, but whenever they played Boys from Oklahoma, could you just feel a cloud
oh,
envelop the stadium?
dude, I don't know if you saw my tweet, but like I literally used AI and I was like, I put on the quote was like, show Junior what y'all can do for the boys from Oklahoma, and it was just Boone Pickens Stadium with the cloud coming out, and I was like,
Yeah, I think I did see that.
that's how the vibe's gonna be, and dude, that place
But
reeked.
but yeah, man, Charlie Cross came out and played that harmonica opening, and I just heard like 5 or 6 big lighters around me. Just
Yep, 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 yep.
like,
That was really cool to see her included in it, and like I know that she was just thrown on the spot. Hey, you're gonna do this, and she killed it. So that was really cool.
mm,
But
yeah,
yeah,
man, it was
anytime Cody had the harmonica too, I was just giddy. I was like,
like you were waiting for it. Yeah, it's like Evan and he puts his guitar down and picks up harmonica, and you're like, long hot summer day, I need it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did Felker play that for y'all?
Hmm.
So when that happened, I was getting beer with a buddy. He was like, "Hey, I need two hands to grab two beers," and I'm like, "I'm sober. I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm not drinking. I've got an hour and a half drive home." and everybody is clicking their boot heels on those
Mhm.
bleachers, and you can hear it sounds like an Imperial March.
Yeah, you could feel it down in the. I ended up in the pit both nights, and you could feel it.
Yeah, it was like a
And,
reverberant in your body that was just happening from that place, and it was a beautiful sight to see.
and it was loud in Canes whenever they got back, but that one was just different.
Yeah, it was really cool. All right, boys and girls, thank y'all so much for joining us on the Red Dirt experience from the boys from Oklahoma. Thank you so much, Eli, for giving me some time to talk about the experience. I know we kept it pretty short due to what we have on this limited app. I don't know why it's like this. Typically, Katie's got it down pat. But anyway, thank y'all so much for joining this week. We hope y'all have a good one. Hopefully, y'all go ahead and see the boys from Oklahoma and Texas. If you missed out on this opportunity, you won't regret it. Absolutely amazing time. Thank
Or
you.
don't, so tickets are cheap.
Yeah, or don't, so tickets are cheap so Eli can get down there. Cool. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all next week.